This video contains elements that are not suitable for children under the age of 14. Viewer discretion is advised.
2010 marked the 65th anniversary of the publication of the first Railway series book, and it was treated as a pretty big deal with the UK DVD The Best of Thomas to celebrate the show's history up to that point. That same year also marked the release of Misty Island Rescue, which has since gone down by many fans to be the worst Thomas movie since Thomas and the Magic Railroad. But it did end on an interesting cliffhanger, hinting at next year's special.
You'll be laughing on the other side of your boilers soon, silly steamers. Yes.
Which brings me on to Series 14. It first aired in October 2010, 8 months after Series 14 had finished. That does sound very surprising, doesn't it? Having 2 series airing within the same year, and on the 65th anniversary, no less? Wow! That may have been great for the time, but with hindsight, it's quality over quantity that mattered. If you're wondering what I have to say regarding the writing for Series 14, sadly, I have little to say that I haven't already for Series 13. Basically, it's that, but way worse. Here's a couple of examples.
This lamp will make me look silly. Everyone at the concert will look their best except me.
Why would James not want to wear a lamp, and why was he so blind that he couldn't see 3 feet to his left onto a well-lit platform? What kind of crap is that?
Bust my buffers! These woods are too scary for me.
Really? It's just a forest. Why is Toby scared shitless about the sounds of an owl and the wind? And I thought him being scared of an abandoned mine in Toby's discovery was bad. And yes, people, the classic era was the first to have an episode that portrayed Toby as a wuss. But back to Series 14.
If I bounce along the track, perhaps that sound will soon come back. The sound that makes me smile and giggle when I puff on tracks that jiggle.
Why the hell is Thomas so easily amused by popping noises? Doesn't he know that it's just the corks on bottles of lemonade? Why is he so fucking childish?
Easy there, Zack. Breathe.
Once again, I apologize, but Series 14 was just painful for me to sit through again. Sure, they brought back characters like Harold, Salty, Whiff, Harry, and Bert for CGI, but since most of them returned in Misty Island Rescue, that's not really much of an achievement. They toned back a little on Thomas being a spotlight hog, but he's still prominent in episodes, sticking his funnel where it doesn't belong. The Logging Locos and Captain appear following Misty Island Rescue, but I've barely a thing to say regarding Captain. He hasn't done anything significant since his debut, so as Matt would put it, I've got nothing. Bash, Dash, and Ferdinand, however, are just insufferable whenever they turn up. Why is that? Well...
What? What did you say?
I said that the Logging Locos appear...
No. Please, no. God, no. They can't be here. Those pathetic excuses of engines. Not after the horrible excuse of a special that was Misty Island Rescue. They just can't be here.
Well, since you asked...
Shake! Shake! Make me quake! Make me quake until I shake! Looks like you do, so we're here to give it. Do as we say, and we'll show you the way.
That's right.
You'll find plenty more on our island.
That's right.
One biff, one bash, and there's always a crash.
That's right.
Fizzling fireboxes? That's not meant to happen.
That's right.
This is not right.
You puff to the hill and you stay quite still.
You chuff to the sea and you wait patiently.
Then you steam back to here.
And the snow will appear.
That's right.
Do you think that's right? I don't know. It'll be fine.
With a star.
That's right.
They are here!
I'm done.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Matt, please calm down.
Wow, that's a side of Matt I never thought I'd ever see. But in all fairness, the logging locos aren't my cup of tea neither. Glad we never got to hear from them again since the Christmas Tree Express.
Yeah, same here, Cam. It would also be entertaining to see if what Matt said about the logging locos wasn't so true. But anyway, you see what I mean? I think those logging loco clips speak for themselves. The only other newbie for Series 14 was Scruff the Scruncher. I've never really cared much for him either, and I sometimes kind of forget he exists. But there's one line in his debut episode that's always made me mad.
Thomas liked Scruff, but he was worried. Really useful engines couldn't be really dirty ones.
What now?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. What that episode is basically saying that if all you do is dirty jobs, then you're not really accomplishing anything in your life. I'm sorry, but what the fuck were they thinking? Engines get dirty a lot of the time. 19 times out of 20, they're doing something to make themselves useful. Hell, Thomas was friendly with Whiff earlier in that episode, and Whiff was arguably even dirtier than Scruff. So yeah, that's the role model Thomas has become in this era, folks. A hypocritical, borderline xenophobic dumbass. But that's not the only awful lesson Series 14 has taught us. Stealing is perfectly acceptable, children won't cheer for you if you're not a steam engine, messing about with dangerous equipment is perfectly fine, and it's only women that do the laundry. Yeah, in case of the last one, I consider Pingy Pongy Pickup canon in name only, mostly because of this line.
Well, there was that time I took Soto United's football kit to the laundry.
I just find it sad that journalists constantly beat down on the sad story of Henry for supposedly having no happy ending, but I'm sure that if Pingy Pongy Pickup had been written back then, they would hate that episode for enforcing an outdated, possibly borderline misogynistic stereotype. It's now become my most hated episode featuring Emily as the main character. Yeah, I hate it more than Emily in the middle and Emily's best friend, and I'll get to those soon enough. Then there's Thomas and the Snowman Party, which has one of the worst morals of the entire show. Not as awful as Apology Impossible, but damned if it doesn't come close. The Series 14 episode basically teaches children that if you steal someone's property without their acknowledgement, you won't get in trouble for it.
What? What the fuck?
I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. Speaking of winter-themed episodes, do you remember back in Series 9 when Keeping Up with James caused controversy over Winter Holiday being used instead of Christmas? This resulted in the DVD Merry Winter Wish being held back for a United Kingdom just to replace winter holidays with Christmas holidays, or just plain Christmas in a few cases. And this also applies to Series 15 and, I think, 16 as well. Sure, we can thank Hillary Fortnum for helping to bring Christmas back, but really, it should never gotten rid of it to begin with. Still makes you wonder why it didn't reach the headlines earlier, but at least it was something. Series 14 began production in May 2009, with the first half being produced alongside Series 13, specifically the first 8 episodes plus Ode and Dignity and Henry's Magic Box, which have a copyright date of 2009. After that came Misty Island Rescue, then the second half of Series 14 was produced alongside the first half of Series 15, hence the abundance of the logging logos in both halves. After that came Day of the Diesels, then the second half of Series 15, which was produced alongside the first half of Series 16, before being followed up by Blue Mountain Mystery, and then the second half of Series 16. Confused about all of it? I don't blame you. Just trying to untangle this complicated production schedule for Nitrogen's Time with Thomas is like trying to figure out Michael Caine's great idea at the end of The Italian Job, how Superman was able to reverse time in the first Richard Donner Superman movie, and the expanded Back to the Future timeline, while you're trying to cure a patient with cancer. Okay, that was a bit of an exaggeration, perhaps, but you get my point. Series 13 was bad, but Series 14 was even worse. I apologize if the review was a bit short, but there's honestly very little I can say that I haven't already. This is the first series of the show which I gave 4 episodes the equivalent rating to 0 stars out of 5, and all of them ended up in the bottom 5. But if you think that's bad, then brace yourselves for what's coming up next.
You're not on fire?
That's right!
I must race to Farmer McColl's.
Thomas!
This is my friend, Seagull.
That's right!
Watch this, Toby.
Children, here is your Christmas holiday surprise.
Charlie.
I have a joke for you.
Steam trams can't be rescue engines.
That's right!
I have a special for you.
The biggest balloon Thomas and Percy had ever seen.
Now I can't jump!